What games did you play when you were younger?
Tom, played hurling and football. I put hurling I was born, you could say, with a hurler in my hand. I always remember when I was young, and I had a workman here, Johnny Handler, and he used to play with Ballingarry. And when my father would be after having his dinner, he'd sit back now where I am sitting, and Danny and myself would go out and play from one end of the yard to the other, scoring goals on one another, you know. And that was my first initiation into hurling. And I remember at the particular time I had an uncle in Mayo, and he got, I suppose he learned that I was fond of the hurling, and he posted a new hurley down from Mayo down to me. I'll always remember that. And it wasn't what you call a good Tipperary hurley, it was a Mayo hurley.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll always remember that. But I played minor hurling then with Tipperary in 1941, corner forward against Clare in Thurles. But before that, in 1938, I was going to school at the time, and I was on the Ballingarry minor team that won the first South minor hurling competition in South Tipperary. I was playing corner forward.
Good.
After that then, in 1939, I played with the Ballingarry junior team. I was a sub on the team. And I was young at the time, and there were a lot of older fellas playing, and they were giving out the medals that they won the county junior football in 1939. And I thought that I wasn't worth getting a medal for it, you know, just being a sub. And I'll always remember the chairman of the Ballingarry club, he came over across the fields and came over with my medal, and he said, "You're entitled to a medal," he said, "as well as any of them."
Good. And you were?
Tom Malloy.
Good.
Yeah.
What townland are you living in at the minute?
Do you know?
And do you know where the name came from?
The house on the hill, Tegan Knick.
Very good. And when you were younger, how many families would have been in the area?
Well, in my own family we had there was only the two of us in, myself and a sister, and we had neighbours, Corcorans, and we grew up with, they'd be an older family, but then we were always in and out playing at Corcoran's. The Mrs. Corcoran, Tim Corcoran's grandmother now, and she was a widow, and we were, Dolly and myself were always in and out into Corcoran.
And what kind of houses would have been around at the time? Were they thatched, or how would they have been?
When I was born, this house was thatched. Corcoran's house was a more modern house. It was a two-storey slated house. But then there were houses like my own, mostly at that time they were all thatched houses. Yeah.
And was immigration or emigration bad at the time?
The immigration at that particular time wasn't too bad. But before that, sure, my three aunts and three uncles went to America. That would be about 1911 or 12 or that time, that particular time. Six of them left, and they lived in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah.
And have you a family over there now?
Oh, their families are over there in Chicago.
Yeah. Very good. And can you remember if if there was as many houses around back then, or are there more houses now, or were people living in villages at the time, or how did it work like that?
There are more houses now.
Mm.
The houses at that time now, there were Corcorans and ourselves, Butlers and Cokes. They were two brothers and a sister living near us, and there was a house down near the road, and then there was a couple of cottages down along the Callan Road.
Mm. Very good.
And that's all the houses were in it at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did your family do for a living?
It was small farmers. Small farmers.
And what kind of animals would you have had?
Short-horn cattle, short-horn cows. The Frisian didn't come in until later years.
Mm. And what was the work like on the farm when you were young?
We had usually a pair of horses, and sowed the potatoes and drew out the dung for the potatoes, and sowed mangels and turnips and cabbage, and we were as far as food was concerned, we were self-sufficient. Like we grew our own food, potatoes and all our vegetables, cabbage and onions and all this. You know.
And how many meals would you have had on a normal day? How many would you have had? 3 meals a day, or?
Oh, we don't always have the 3 meals: breakfast, dinner, and tea.
And what would you have had for dinner? Was that?
For dinner now, the staple food was bacon and cabbage. Mostly bacon and cabbage. And we used to kill our own pigs, and we'd have the puddings and the steaks off of the pig for months and months.
Yeah.
You know.
Very good. And what time of day would you have had dinner?
Oh, usually around 1 o'clock or that way.
And why was that, do you think?
Pardon?
Why was that?
I don't know. The breakfast would usually be after milking the cows and feeding the calves and all that kind of thing. The breakfast would be made on. So the dinner then would be around 1 or 1:30.
Yeah. Did you come home from school to have dinner? Or
I'd have the dinner when I come home from school. And when I'd be going to school, I'd usually take the dinner, a couple of cuts of bread and butter, and you know.
Very good.
Yeah.
And where would you have sold your animals if you were to sell them, or where would you have bought animals?
The nearest, I remember taking cattle to the fair of Callan.
Oh.
Callan. And Killinall, they had the fair in Killinall so many times a year, like.
And what do you remember about the fair in Callan?
I remember going to the fair in Callan and getting up very early and driving the cattle down, and you'd meet the traders going into Callan. If you'd sell, they'd buy them off you going in before you go to the fair at all. And a lot of the cattle didn't. We had a fair green in Callan.
Oh.
And the cattle, my father and myself had been minding our own cattle. And most of the time I'd be left minding myself.
Yeah. And if there was a deal struck, how would farmers signify that they agreed? Can you remember?
They'd agree on a price. Usually you see clapping their hands to settle the scene, you know. Or there'd be a lot of haggling going on.
And was luck money involved?
The money was small.
Yeah.
Now, to tell you the truth, I don't know really what the cost of a big animal would be. We at that time we'd be selling weanlings maybe, you know, year and a half, so that type of cattle, you know.
And do you remember luck money?
And the luck money would always have to be paid.
And why was that? What was luck money?
Well, it was an old custom that to bring luck to the buyer.
All right.
The luck money, you know. It was an important thing. It was an old custom, and it was an important thing to an awful lot of buyers. But it died out later years then.
Yeah. Did you like the fair day?
I did and I didn't. I didn't like the walking in, and you have to mind the cattle from breaking in to farmers' gates and that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But there'd be a lot of farmers going along the road with their own herds of cattle, like, you know.
And did you have to walk from here to Callan?
Well, here to Callan, aye.